yet another cooking video. But before I start that, I want to touch on one thing. As we all know, a lot of people in the service industry, i.e. bartenders, waitresses, people like that, have been hurting a lot because of the whole COVID-19 business. My favorite coffee company, and this is not sponsored, I have not been asked to do this, this is purely on my own. Death Wish Coffee Company is doing something to help. Bam! This is one of two shirts they have on their website, deathwishcoffee.com. And I'll actually tag them on the Facebook too. So if you go to facebook.com/thecooldad, you'll see this post for this video. I will tag them there. These shirts are very comfortable, $25, and all the proceeds are going to help local people in the Saratoga Springs, New York area, or Saratoga area in general. The design on the back was done by a local tattoo artist out of Albany, New York, and I just think it's an awesome thing. I mean, I love their coffee anyway. It's pretty much all I have at home. If I was to turn the camera and focus on my coffee center over there, some local politicians think that constitutes a coffee shop, but that's a whole other story. I have all my Death Wish coffee over there. I honestly was hesitant to try it at first, but once I tried it, I was like, damn, that's good coffee. Extra caffeine, so if you can't have caffeine, stay away from the coffee side of it. But the merch is pretty awesome, and like I said, these shirts are helping local people get through this pandemic right now and all the general BS that goes along with it. So, that is my public service announcement for today. Check out Death Wish Coffee. A, great coffee. B, great cause. So let me show you the back again. Broke but not busted. Rewind and pause if you want a better look at that. On to the cooking video. So I've had a few of my friends ask about, it's kind of a running joke with some of my friends, how I make, sometimes I call it a one-pot meal. Actually, technically a one-pan meal in this case. So that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. I'm going to take some meat and some veg and cook them all together and just make it in one pot. This is for the people looking for something quick and easy, well, fairly quick and easy, that minimizes the amount of mess you make, minimizes the amount of dishes you have to clean later, and just generally is something simple and easy to throw together if you've had a long day, if you're just running short on time, whatever. This is just a quick and easy thing you can put together. And again, like every other recipe I do, very customizable. Whatever protein you want to use, whatever vegetables you want to use. I happen to have some steak I pulled out of the freezer. I'm going to do that up with some mixed vegetables I got from Costco. Honestly, I normally get the stir-fry vegetables from Costco, their freezer section, but they were out when I went, so I had to get the mixed vegetables instead. Either one works. And here's the thing. And I'm specifically talking about the Costco version just because that's where I shop. And this is not sponsored by anybody. This is just me. The Costco vegetables, you'll see how I cook them, but once you cook them, honestly, in my opinion, it's just as good as fresh. So, that being said, let's get down to business. Let's start cooking and have some fun. I'm going to pop the camera down and we'll get to work. Okay, let's start with the meat. Now, I grabbed a couple chunks of steak out of the freezer that I'm going to cut up for this. And I thawed them out. So, this is actually this was a good choice for this bag because it was some leftover pieces that were here and there. Now, before I start cooking, or cutting even, wipe my hands off, I want to throw some seasoning on here. So, let's start with a little bit of steak rub. And you can do any seasoning you like, whatever works for you, whatever you enjoy. And a touch of lemon pepper. We're going to keep it kind of simple today. Okay. Now, one last thing. Where'd it go? When I cook, specifically steaks, I like to put a dash of sea salt on there. I think it helps bring out the flavor. Now, what you see here at my grinder, 1, and a half. Now, once you've done that, you take a fork and just stab the crap out of it. Sorry. Take out your frustrations on being quarantined because of COVID-19 on the meat, not on each other. We all got to live together. Flip it over. Wipe your hands off again. Shoot. There we go. Wipe your hands off again. A little more steak rub. A little more lemon pepper. And again, you don't need a ton because this is just a little bit of light flavoring. And 1.5. Well, ish. Y'all get where I'm going with that. So, put my seasonings back with the fork again. Bam. Now, what this does is essentially tenderizes and gets the seasonings in there a little bit more. At least in my opinion. Now, you get your knife, sharp knife. We're going to start cutting. We're basically cutting the meat into bite-sized chunks because we're just kind of cooking up a general meal that can be dished out. So the nice thing about this too is it's something that if your schedules are weird because of everything that's going on, if you guys eating shifts now, everybody's not there at the same time because some people are home all day, other people aren't. Cut off a little bit of this fat because I don't like fat. If you like fat, leave it. I don't care. I particularly don't. I like my meat lean. A little bit of fat is good because it does give it that tenderness and the moistness. Yes, I said moist again. I know there's people out there that watch don't like the word moist, and I apologize to you for saying moist more than once. But it's a description for meat, among other things. So like I said, I'm just basically cutting this down into bite-sized chunks. It does two things. One, it makes it easier to make it, easier to dish out. It also makes it cook a little bit quicker. Now, we're not going for hardcore burn-it cooking. There we go. Like I said, a little bit of fat I'm cool with, but not too much. When you cook this, you can cook the meat to whatever level of doneness you prefer. If I was doing a steak on the grill, honestly, maybe medium. I used to be a lot less cooked, but over the years, my tastes have adjusted a little bit due to certain things, and now I say medium's a good spot for me. There we go. Don't be afraid to get right in there and handle your meat. Nothing wrong with that. And if y'all haven't figured it out yet, yes, I throw a lot of innuendo in here for my adult watchers because I want you to have fun while you're cooking. Cooking can be a lot of fun. It doesn't have to be a dreaded chore. Have fun with it. Food is life. Remember that. And the more fun you can have cooking, the more fun your food will be in the long run. I'm not saying play with your food, but play with your food. In this, never mind. I won't go down that road because that's pushing a little bit even for me. Okay, so meat is seasoned, cut up. Wiping my hands again. Actually, those are going to sit to the side. There's a reason why, but we won't get into that here now. Okay, my pan is nice and hot. So, pop that right in there. Gooch. And I don't have a clean spatula. Oh wait, yes I do. I ran the dishwasher. So, we got the meat in the pan, starting to brown a little bit. We're going to let that start to cook. I'm going to take my paper towel. Since this is all being cooked to appropriate temperature and going to the same place, I'm just going to wipe down my knife and cutting board. Normally I would say just wait till the end and toss your veggies in frozen, but because I know how these come, I wanted to cut them down a little bit. The stir-fry veggies are better size-wise, but I like to, when I get the mixed veggies like this, I want to cut them down a little bit. It makes them a little more easy to fork up. So while I'm cutting these, I'm also keeping an eye on the meat, stirring it about. I want to get that started. It doesn't have to cook all the way right this minute, but I want to at least get it started so that it comes together, because you don't want to overcook your veggies, because then they get mushy and soggy, unless you like that. In that case, feel free to overcook your veggies. I like mine to have a little bit of crisp to them, have that fresh taste. And I will say, I found that the frozen veggies at Costco do really do a good job with that, having that fresh taste once you bring them out. You just can't overcook them. I did, like I said, I did defrost these. Normally I would throw them in frozen, but because of the type of dish I'm doing, I want to cut them down size-wise a little bit before I cook them. Now, this mixed vegetable has a lot of, well, oh yeah, broccoli and cauliflower. You guys may remember this from the tempura video I did. That was from the same batch. I'm almost done with it, so getting ready to where I can go back to Costco and get another, see if they've got my stir-fry veggies in yet. Yeah, I'm pulling some of the stalks out from the broccoli, not for nothing, just because. There we go. These are good, that's good, good. The cauliflower, ow. Try not to cut yourself. Okay, that'll do the trick, so I'm going to pop these actually right back in the colander here where I've got them. Toss that, the veggie scraps. No blood, I'm good. Paper towel. Okay, back to the meat. Stirring that around, meat's looking good. I'm going to take that off the heat for a couple minutes. It smells really good right now, because I got one more piece of veggie. Oops, let me soak up my water here. And one more veggie I'm going to throw in there. And this comes with a couple of interesting tips. So, because I don't want the meat to cook down entirely until I add an onion. Oops, here I am throwing onions around the kitchen. There we go. And cool day, why didn't you get that out ahead of time? Yeah, you know. Seat of the pants, do it on the fly. Now, I cut off the ends of the onion and peel down until I get to that white layer. Woo! Sinuses are fairly clear today, so we'll see what reaction I get from this. I actually will sometimes peel off that first white layer just to get to a really nice place where I want to be with this onion. Now, ditch this. Scooch. Yes, as you can see, the dogs are here today helping. Now, what I generally do, straight down the center. Bam. Now, somewhere in here, my secret weapon. Some of you will know these as corn on the cob holders. Obviously, they look like corns. The other thing they're good for is cutting onions. So, put one in there, put one in there, and guess what? That holds your onions together while you're going through and cutting nice thin slices off of it. It's not necessary, but it does make your life a little easier. And this is your Cool Dad pro tip for the day. See how it's still holding it together? Now, you get to the end, you get a finagle a little bit, but there we go. So let's move them on to the other one. And obviously, the closer to the edge you can get them, the more you're going to be able to cut before you have to stop. But I'm just basically cutting up a small onion. This is going to go right in with the meat because it adds a nice flavor. But I like to get the meat started browning before I put the onion in. Again, it comes down to you want the protein to start to denature in the meat. That one's a little thicker, so I'll just do that before you add that. Because what it does is it allows the meat to actually pick up some of the flavor from the onion. Now, we're going to let that kind of cook down so our onions relax and caramelize. There we go. Stir that about. Okay, we're going to cook that down and we'll be right back. Okay, now we are almost there with our onions, where we want to be with our onions. So again, this is a super simple one-pan meal. Can be made to any size, any number of people. I keep it simmering. Now I'm going to add my secret sauce. Well, not really secret sauce, if I can open the damn jar. I add a little barbecue sauce. And I'm adding 2 of my favorites today because I have a little bit left of each one. If you happen to be somewhere where they have a pepper palace, honey chipotle rum, good stuff. Just a touch of zing, and Mountain Q Select Bourbon Barbecue is what I'm adding today. Because I was just about finished with both these bottles. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I can't go get more. I have to see if I can get it online. So, that's for some flavor to go along with the seasoning. So you're going to kind of mix it around. You don't need to drown it in this. You just want enough in there to lightly coat everything. My onions are starting to caramelize down nicely. There we go. Now, my next step is going to be adding the veggies to this once this cooks a little bit more. I want this to cook down just a touch more before I add the veggies. But if instead of veggies, you would like to do rice or some other grain that you want to serve with it, you could stop right here and just let it cook down, put it over your rice, put it over your other grains, whatever you'd like. That's the beauty of these. They're super easy to work with, whatever you've got in your pantry. I didn't feel like making rice, so this will add veggies into it. Oh yeah, there we go. Just starting to simmer nicely. We are getting close, folks. Almost there. So, again, this is one of those ultimately customizable recipes that I always encourage people to have fun with your food. You know, experiment, try something new. To a certain extent. There are certain things that just don't go together, but, you know, common sense, I guess, a little bit. We're getting there. Let's see. Okay, now we're going to add the veggies. There we are. We're stirring those veggies. And at this point, we're really just kind of heating the veggies up and letting the flavors kind of get into them. We stir it around a little bit. There's not a ton of sauce because we're not making a stew, but just that little bit of sauce, and you want to get that flavor into the veggies, so just stir it around as they're cooking. There we go. Now the veggies have, you know, water of their own in them, so you will see this sauce back up again in a little bit. And again, if this is still something, if you want to serve it over rice or noodles, serve it over rice or noodles. I mean, for Pete's sake, have fun, enjoy. It's food. Food is life. Food is good. Food is fun. Okay. Now we're going to just kind of let this sit for a few minutes to let these veggies come up to temperature. And when I come back, we'll be all set. Okay, So, we've got everything cooked to where we like it. The vegetables are soft but not mushy. The onions are well caramelized. The meat's properly cooked through. We've had a nice temperature for everything. Now here's the nice thing. If you want to meal prep for a week, you put up a batch of this, and you can have lunches. You can have dinners. You can have whatever you need. This does store in the fridge and can be microwaved. Fair warning, if you microwave it later on, your veggies could get mushy. But if you're okay with that, or, hey, you know what? Beats nothing at all. Beats having to pay for food somewhere else. So, give me just a couple minutes. We're going to come back up and have a little chat. Okay, one pan meal. A little bit of steak, a little bit of veg. Lots of seasoning and tons of flavor. Vegetables are in good shape. It's hot, so it's taking me a minute here. Oh my God. The vegetables are still just got enough crispiness to them that they're not mushy. Hot. But flavor is all through them. Okay. It's good. It's just very hot. Oh my God. So, again, you take that and you run with it and you can customize it however you like. You want to use chicken, you want to use pork, you want to use veal or lamb if you really want to. I mean, hey, go for it. Whatever veggies you want to use, skip the veggies, put it over rice or pasta, add the veggies, put it over rice or pasta. I mean, there's a million different things you can do with a recipe like this. But the point is, super simple. The only reason I have the bowl and the colander here is because I needed to defrost the steak and the veggies. If I didn't have to do that, if I had just taken it out like the night before, thrown it in the fridge to let the steak defrost and had the veggies fresh, I wouldn't even have those. So cutting board, knife, fork, holders, pan, super simple, minimal cleanup, and like I said, stores well in the fridge. So this is my famous or infamous one pan meal. The thing is though, it's fun, it's tasty. It takes whatever you've got and makes it into a meal, something that's enjoyable. These days, if you can, get the family together. Get your family, everybody that lives with you, get them together. Whether your family, your roommates, your friends, whoever lives with you, just get them together and sit down, even if it's only once or twice a week, to sit down together and eat. Why? Because we need that social community. Yeah, there's social media. Yeah, there's this. Yeah, but we need that people interaction on a physical level, on a face-to-face level that we're lacking right now. We are not meant to be isolated creatures. We are a social creature by our very nature and basic structure. And food brings us together. Food is a reason for us to sit down together, talk, conversate, have a good time, enjoy each other's company, maybe even learn something. You never know. Having grown up very Italian, food is life, life is food, food makes everything better. Carter, get out of there. Having dogs makes that happen. Where is it? Oh yeah. So here's the thing though. Italians pretty much got that right. I mean, other cultures do it as well. I just happen to grow up Italian. So bringing everybody together around a table, it's a wonderful thing because it gives us that face-to-face social interaction that we as a species need to survive. We are not meant to be islands. We are not meant to be isolated. We are meant to be with each other. We are meant to have that commingling of thoughts, ideas, of just conversation. It could be about oh my God, did you see what so-and-so did the other day? Oh my God, did you see that cool video on TikTok or Instagram or whatever? That face-to-face conversation is what is so important to our psyche. It's what keeps us sane. I honestly, yesterday being Mother's Day was a wake-up call to me because Mom called me up and she said, we have a big house. You can socially distance yourself while you're here. but you are coming here for Mother's Day. And I said, yes, Mom. Because you know what? I'm 48 years old and my mom is still my mom. But you know, I will tell you this. Having dinner with my parents yesterday was the best thing that's happened to me in a long time. And I'm not saying anything else is bad. I needed that, though. I needed that family together around the table. That is just, it's a balm for the soul. And right now, we need all the balm for the soul that we can find. So, get your pan out. Get some stuff out of the fridge, the freezer, wherever, the cabinets, the pantry, and just cook. Make some food. Get your people together. Get your crew together around the table and have some food. I'm not saying invite everybody in from all over. No. We still need to maintain a little bit of decor. Well, not even decor. A little bit of that social distancing thing. We got to be careful. We don't want to get everybody sick, but we need to at least get those people right around us together. We can sit down and commune over good food. And remember, if it wasn't for the farmers, we wouldn't have that good food in the first place. I don't care whether you love your meat, whether you are vegetarian, whether you are vegan. Farmers are responsible for your food all the way through. No farmers, we don't have food. So that whole no farmers, no food, either way you want to spell no, it's got some point to it. At that point, I want a quick thank you to Death Wish Coffee. And again, not sponsored, nothing of that. This is all me. Thank you to Death Wish Coffee for being a great local company here in the upstate New York area. Thank you for reaching out to help your community. I'm glad I had the opportunity to get one of these shirts, to be a part of that. Again, broke, not busted. I think it's a sentiment we can all relate to these days. Whether you're out of work, getting unemployment, working your ass off, killing yourself at work with too many hours because you're essential. We're all a little broke, whether it's financially or psychologically right now, but we ain't busted. You know why? Because we can bounce back from this because we're awesome. I know you have the potential to be awesome. All you got to do is find out what changes you need to make. Sometimes it's just something little. That little bit of change is all you need to do sometimes just to unlock that potential to be awesome. I have faith in you. I know you can do it. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hope you all have a great time. Cook some food, have some fun. Let's get together and we'll kick this thing's ass. Catch you later, everybody.